no better time to check in with Hubert Davis
right now
than when the Tar Heels are winning.
Yeah.
Because then checking in, we got nothing but
happiness,
fun, glorious stuff to talk about.
You can check in with me anytime.
I know, but it's so much more fun when we can have our friends at CR Legal Team enable us to check in right now, see our commitment, see our results, see our legal team. They're a proud partner of Carolina Athletics. They're a proud partner of checking in with Hubert Davis, who spent his weekend in sunny Clemson. Tar Heels getting a big win over the Tigers and a win that it felt like you had to be pretty pleased with how many different things Carolina did well.
No, I was really pleased. Defensively, I thought we were really good. I thought we did a good job of protecting the paint. PJ Hall is really good. And going into the game, Clemson, they were averaging a little bit under 10 made threes a game, and they went 1 for 18. So we did a really good job of defending the three as well. It's the third straight game that we've out-rebounded our opponent. I think it's the fourth straight game that we've really done a nice job defensively, starting off with Oklahoma. Really proud of our bench. This came in, big plays, Pax and Seth, those 2 threes in the second half, huge. Jay Wash, Jay Witt just brings so much athleticism and rebounding and defense for us. And RJ was great. And I told Armando at practice today, I felt like that was one of his best games that he's had being here at North Carolina, just on both ends of the floor. I thought he was locked in and ready to go.
Coach, you mentioned the last 4 games. Those numbers defensively in those 4 games, opponents are shooting 35% from the floor, 24% from 3, and averaging 60 points per game. That's Oklahoma, Charleston Southern, Pitt, and Clemson. Yeah. What do you think you guys have been doing better defensively in that stretch that has allowed those really good numbers?
Well, before the stretch, and I mentioned it to him before practice today, that, for us to be successful, there has to be a commitment to being a really good defensive team, the best that we can be, and a commitment to rebounding the basketball. Just no way around it. And I said, I got no worries about us being able to score, but can we defend? Can we get stops? Can we take care of the basketball? That was the big key, and it's really on the players. I mean, they're boxing out. They're getting those 50-50 loose balls. Getting after it defensively, taking pride one-on-one, situations, and it's really helped us win these last 4 games.
We talked about this a little earlier. There was that stretch early in the second half where Shefflin was getting what he wanted. It felt like
then I made a sub and brought in Jay Witt.
Exactly.
Got bigger.
So how does that's what depth is, right? I mean, to have the ability to say, okay, that is not working, let's do this. How did that enable you to kind of change the way the rest of that game went?
Yeah, just, we needed to rebound, and, they basically play big. And really, Harrison could play the 3 and the 4, but, they're a really great rebounding team. And so just putting in, some more size, athleticism with Jay Witt, and from that point on, I mean, for us to out-rebound Pitt and rebound Clemson by double digits, that's huge, And so you're right, just the versatility like that, or for us being able to play big, having Jay Wash and Armando in at the same time, or being able to be small and having RJ, Elliott, and Seth, 3 point guards out there on the floor. That's one of the cool things about this group is the versatility that we have on both ends of the floor to kind of match up and exploit mismatches on both ends of the floor.
Because it just feels like there's a good, energy right now. And I know winning makes people feel good. But, I mean, do you feel that with your group that it's, that seeing the results on the court helps with everything else?
Well, I do, but I have felt this since this group has come together. There's just something about this group that works. It's as easy as them just genuinely enjoying being around each other, it is translated out there on the floor. And so does that, because everyone gets along in the locker room, mean that's going to equal wins? No, but it helps. Yeah. And it helps out on the court. And when you have guys that enjoy being around each other, enjoy playing with each other, I do think it translates on the floor. And I think that's the feeling that I feel and you're talking about. It's just – you feel like everybody's on the same page, and that's a good feeling to have.
these last couple of road wins, there's been a player on the other team who everybody knows that is a good veteran player, like Blake Henson, P.J. Hall, Joe Girard. These are guys you're familiar with.
I know.
DJ Burns on Wednesday night, same thing for NC State. When the other team has a player like that, how do you scout someone who's familiar, and then how do you try to convey that information to your team who may feel like, oh, I've seen this guy before? How do you tell them what to expect?
Well, I think something, I've said this before. I felt like our non-conference schedule really helped us for right now. Just the variety of players and teams and matchups that we had, I really felt like, in terms of the level and also just a variety of different types of players. Remember, at the beginning of the year, their best players like Dalton Connect gave it to us, especially in the second half. Villanova, I mean, they were giving it to us, and I felt like every top player was having a career high against us. And I said that it's not just one individual defender; it's North Carolina playing defense, and that's goes to the part where I feel like the guys have committed themselves to playing defense and getting stops. And I think it's just a group effort, and we're doing a good job of it right now.
Coach, last thing, it is NC State coming up Wednesday night, 8 o'clock. Tell us a little bit about the Pack. They're off to they're playing good basketball right now.
Yeah,
they're 3-0 in conference play. What have you seen from them?
Yeah, defensively, they're going to pressure us. They're going to pick us up full court. They're trying to get steals, deflections to get out in transition, trying to speed us up offensively. We like the pace, so that'll be good. And from an offensive standpoint, it goes down to Burns. I mean, and they're trying to throw the ball down to him. It's tricky with him, because he can score consistently down low in the paint. But I mean, he is a gifted passer.
Yeah.
I mean, just gifted, and so you don't want to give him both, and you got to mix up defenses against him so he doesn't get a steady diet. But they've got guys that can shoot the ball from the outside. DJ Horn is. Transfer has been shooting the ball extremely well. It's over 40% from three, and when North Carolina comes to town, everybody plays well, and so it'll be a great atmosphere again on the road.
Yep.
And but we're used to it, and we're ready for the challenge.
One day the Tar Heels will be back in the Smith Center. Yes.
And then you can check in with us
we'll check
at home.
That's right. Looking forward to that. That's coming up on Saturday against Syracuse. But first and foremost is Carolina and State in Raleigh. First time since the 70s that Carolina and State will meet with both teams 3-0 or better in conference play. Coach, great to see you. Thanks so much for your time, and we'll check in with you in the near future.
Okay, thank you.